So we are back from our break, and we're going to continue this battle between the later Crusaders and Egyptian Mamluk army. We have David Schleiner commanding the later Crusaders. Terrence is commanding the Mamluk Egyptians, and we left off with it being the pip roll for the Egyptians. So, are you ready? It's the good red.
I just want to say this is a crucial point in the battle. This roll will determine a lot right here.
But why do you, it's not your pip roll, David. You don't care.
I care.
Whoopsie. That's why I'm drinking, by the way, because I knew this was going to happen. So, Terrence, what would you like to do with your command pip? I mean, singular.
Oh boy, that's really bad.
You know, David jinxed that by making a big point about how this was such a crucial role and put the pressure on me.
Okay. One, huh?
Yeah, you have two elite cav, including your general, that are not in Zoc, so they have the ability to do something. This guy is in Zoc. You have the dreaded horsebow column. Lightfoot on night action. And we left this game with the Egyptians down by 7 points, and the Crusaders are down by 5. So it's a 5-7 game right now.
Well, anything but a 1 would have been better. Anything would have been better than a 1. Literally.
Do you have that battle card for re-roll?
I do not have the reroll battle
Oh,
card.
man. Probably should have paid for that one, especially with me rolling the dice.
Yeah, maybe.
It's the I think you should move the bow levy in the bed going, Terrence.
These guys?
Yeah, that's a clutch move. Yeah, right. So, man, that's just so bad. Man, okay. I think I have to move the horsebow.
The horsebow and not the elite cap. So horsebow.
Yeah.
All right. And where do they want to go?
Well, hold on. Let me just do the math. So the knight is going to be a 3 against the bow levy. Right?
Correct. And the bow levy are a 3. You could.
If I brought him up, right, then it would be 3-2 in my favor. But I'm killed if he beats me. I'm shattered.
Yep.
So I have to sort of assume I'm going to get shattered.
Well, yes, possibly. You did tie last time. Bow levy are surprisingly tough.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
So the question is it better to... All right, I tell you, I'm going to try the naughtiest move I can think of.
Okay.
Which is to scooch the skirmishers over to move behind the knight. They're not killed if the knight recoils into them. Right?
No. Well.
They are.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
Yeah. So you'd be killing a skirmisher and killing a knight.
I don't want to do that.
Okay.
But is that true if they hit him on the side? three-quarterly knight if he hit the skirmisher on the side?
No, there is the possibility to get it so that, oh, I know what you're trying for.
I don't think you can do that with the other corner.
What do you mean?
His front left corner is going to move too far.
I don't think so.
No.
To get,
I can measure it, but no.
It is. No. If it hits his side edge, if it's my rear corner on his side edge, he dies. He has to get perpendicular to my. He has to get his side edge parallel to my rear edge.
Oh.
For it to not-
Oh, I see what you're saying.
All right. So strike that.
Strike that one.
That was naughty, but not
Legal.
Well, you could trade a knight for a skirmisher. I mean,
That doesn't yield. That means I lose either way,
correct.
right?
Correct.
So that's not too good. On the other hand, who is the general? That would be a very Terrence move. The general can't make it behind the knight, can he?
Yes, he could, but he'd have to expose his butt to the enemy.
Yeah. So that's a possibility.
You'd have to do it with the general, but yeah, the general could swing around and put his front behind these guys by exposing his rear to the knight.
Not particularly great option.
That sounds like a stunningly brilliant move and a way to make sure that David finishes his game in time to watch a movie with his wife later.
Right. So instead of that,
I'm resisting encouraging you, Terrence.
yeah. Instead of that, let's go back to the horsebow.
All right, let's go back to the horsebow. Where would the horsebow like to go? That was a lot of discussion for nothing for those fans at home, but I think probably useful when you're dealing with a 1-pip decision point. Something like that, or
Something like that.
okay, that will put you in a position where if you panic from knights, you might have some issues. But I'm assuming you're hoping you won't be there that long.
That is the plan, but of course, if you keep rolling a 1 for me every time, I could be there until tomorrow morning. So
Once again, the invitation to roll your own damn dice is always open. Oops, I swore on YouTube video. I think that's allowed though, based on the other ones that I've seen.
Well, Terrence is trying to get naughty on the YouTube.
He is
video.
trying to get naughty, so maybe you should be nice. All right, so would you like to use your power? We've determined that, or I think David has determined that shower shooting is overpowered when the enemy has it and he doesn't. So would you like?
No, it's not overpowered. I think it's good.
All right, so we have a shower shooting possibility here with this guy, or your general over here, and this elite cav could also shoot here. You can't get to the knight, unfortunately. He pulled them out of range.
yeah.
All right. Where would you like to start, Terrence?
Let's do the elite cavalry who's next to the horse with the bow levy. Right?
Okay, right here. All right, so we have a plus 2, plus 3. And he didn't shoot so well. So, nothing.
Okay. And then the general on the same target.
General on the same target. Oh, but the general did better. Doesn't kill anything as we would typically expect, but it does cause him to fall back. I'm using my red and white stick. All right, so we got one more shot over here.
Yeah, the last one on the.
Okay, plus 2, plus 3. Nothing.
Okay.
All right,
Okay, 3 to 3. Let's see what happens.
3-3. You die.
It's like clockwork. It's like clockwork.
All right, so we'll put
For a
that
moment
in.
there, I was afraid that I was the red die.
No, you're still the blue die. All right, so Egyptians are down 10 points, and it's blue
9
pips.
points.
They lost In artillery, oh, sorry, Bo Levy's only a 2-pointer. That's right, 9 points. All right, so 9 to 5. And Dave, here's your pip roll.
Well, at least that's some justice.
Yeah.
You guys shouldn't let me
I
drink.
that
You,
one.
you shouldn't let me drink and roll dice, obviously. It's not a good idea. This is what happens at the conventions. All right, so with your 1 mighty command pip, what would you like to do?
Yeah, so we'll pretend that I've been drinking in this battle because my internet signal, the picture has suddenly gotten very blurry. I think it's a problem on my end. So I may not be able to see as well as I had.
Tell
been
your
seeing.
kids they got to stop streaming videos and YouTube, otherwise you're not going to be able to win this battle.
It's possible, yeah. So I think, how close are the horsebow to the light foot on his rear?
You're going to attack his light foot with his horsebow?
No. I just want to see how far he is from there.
He's about 6 to 7.
Okay.
So the outer corner to the rear outer corner about 8,
Okay.
a little under 8.
How far is it from his horsebow's front right corner to the rear corner of the jab calf by my general?
More than 8.
All right. For my 1 pip, I would like to take my general and attack the flank of the jab calf.
Oh. And do you want to be farther from him or closer to him? Farther, I assume, right? Like that? So that they can't get anywhere near you?
As long as they can't get to me, that I'm fine. I'm going to pursue, assuming I win.
Oh, well, once you pursue, you'll still be, if you stay there, you'll be out of reach. But if I pull you, so if you go closer, then you'd be in reach. So once again, when you're attacking a flank like this, the front edge has to cover the side edge. You have room to do it this way or slide over. This way keeps you farther from the horsebow.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right.
That's fine.
Do you want to do anything else with your 1 pip?
There are a lot of things I'd like to do, but I'm not going to complain.
All right. Terrence, would you like to shower shoot? Would you like to shower shoot? You now
I
have
would love to shower.
You now have a
Let's
knight.
Start by shower shooting at the night.
You want to start there? +2. Uh-oh.
There we go.
That would be an 8 to a 4. So he victoriously runs over the hapless peasant Bo Levy, only to get shot in the face by the elite cav. Ouch. Would you like to do that again?
Sure.
You've got 2 shots.
Low in probability.
Yeah.
Let's shoot at the one in front of. Let's shoot with the general at the one in
Got
front
it.
of the refused guy.
All right, so we're going to shoot here.
Yep.
Backs him up. We got a 8 to a 7. So we'll back him up. Keeping him aligned. Okay, I should use my other stick. It's a lot cleaner. All right, and we got 1 more shot with shower shooting. +2, +3. Nothing.
Okay.
All right, Dave. So this is a really important roll, right? So your general, your knight, your knight general versus mounted is a +5, right? So he starts at a 4 for knight, +1 for the general. The javelin cavalry is actually only a +2 versus mounted, but hit in the flank they will go down to a 1. So it's a 5 to 1. There's no way you can lose this, David.
Yes, it is. They can shatter me.
But they didn't. Okay, so we tried. We did try. So you got a 6, and they got a 5. So you beat them by 1. That means that they will turn, putting their front corner where the other front corner was, and fall back, but they cannot complete the fallback maneuver, so they're destroyed. And I'm going to use this as a marker because the general will charge forward because he liked it so much, he's going to do it again, probably. Okay. So now, 8, 9, 10, 13 points down for the Mamluk Egyptians, and we are at 6, 9 points down for the later Crusaders. So it's 9 to 13. But it is the Egyptians' turn. I'll try, Terrence. I really will. I'm rolling it with all my heart. I'm not even going to look. It's a 2.
I saw a 1 there for quite a
I did see. I was afraid it was a 1, and then I was going to have a.
You got 2.
If it had been a 1, there was going to be an internet transmission issue. We're going to have to hang up the call. So, Terrence, what would you like to? What would you like to do?
How about the general in flank contact with the other general?
Can't do it
Why not?
because you're not on his flank. This one here can. The guy next to the general can, but the general's too far forward. He's in his front arc. So that's another one for the folks watching at home. If you want to hit somebody in the flank, you have to start on a line protracted along their flank and be on the other side of that line. But this guy is.
Because of the angle, I don't think that guy can do it.
Why? He's in line with these guys, and you're in line with that rear corner because you're trying to be as far away from the horse bow as possible. So
Okay.
he's perfectly.
On my camera, it looks like my guy is. On my camera. It looks
Oh, that's
like
a shadow.
Okay, this one.
Yeah, that's a shadow. No. So this one guy is on the general's flank.
So let's take that guy to the general.
Now let's make sure he's got enough move to get there, which I'm sure he does. Yeah, he has exactly enough to get to the rear corner of the general. So he's on the general's flank.
Let me just point out this is a problem with Zoom play because I never would have fallen for that. I could not tell that was the angle.
Well, if I had actually seen that move coming, I probably would have slid him a little bit closer to the horse bow, risking the horse bow trying to get up there. But it was a trade-off.
I would have measured it. I would have measured it to make sure, but go ahead. It's fine.
He could have also closed the door and hit you with the light foot, except the light foot are zocked by these knights. So I guess that's the only move he's got.
It's exciting. So we'll go for it.
All right, so once again, Terrence, I think David's doing the same thing he did earlier. If he loses for any reason whatsoever, it will be under protest. So we'll take it up with the International Triumph Committee on the rules later, and they can review the film. So what else would you like to do? You've got a whole 1 pip left.
Well, let's see.
You want to hit him in the front too and make this a possible kill?
So I mean, the thing is that the odds don't get that much better doing that, and then my guy gets killed.
Only if you lose.
Exactly. But then again, you see what red die is pointing right up at me like a giant
The
cyclone.
other one's still here. Yeah, that's a good point.
Can I take? No. I know the answer to that already from that. Okay. Well, let's move the general up to be next to that guy.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So the dreaded Egyptian L formation, attack formation. All right, we good with that?
Yep.
You want to shower? You want to shower shoot with the guy that didn't move?
The guy who didn't move can shower shoot. I guess he'll shower shoot at that guy.
That's all he's got is this heavy foot.
The other head, he can't reach. He's out of arc. For the other
He's
head.
out of arc. He's more than a base width over.
So that heavy footed is.
All right. Plus 2 to plus 3. Nope. Doesn't matter. The shower shooting not very effective against heavy foot. It does a little bit of breaking them up, but okay. We got combat. So the Knight General, we talked about, huh? What's that?
My 3 to his 4?
Yeah, you're going to be a 3 because you are elite cab with no penalties. And he started at a 4 up to 5 for general versus mounted, down to a 4 for being hit in the flank. So it's 3 to 4. And he won. All right, so, and he doubled you. Which is a problem. That's a panic move. So, fall back, turn around, run 06. You might make it. Oh, it was so close, but you hit the camp and you're dissipated.
All right, so that's the game.
That's the game.
What's the point total?
Well, you don't charge, and the knight doesn't charge forward because it was a flank attack. All right, so we have, let's bring out the dead. So we have, the point total is going to be 3 times 4, we have 12, 14, 17 dead on the Egyptian side, so 1 better than you needed. And then 4, 6 with the bow levy, 3, so 9 dead on the later Crusaders. So basically, that kind of wraps up the game. And this segment's going to be a lot shorter than the other one, but we have time to do a little wrap-up talk and plus add in Terrence's moaning in the beginning about what to do with 1 pip.
Well, Terrence, I thought you played very well. Good job.
I think so too.
More fortunate. I definitely was more fortunate with the rolls, for sure.
Well, it was also the key at what time those rolls happen. As we talk about this whole command pip thing with Triumph, it's very important to not plan on winning or losing the game based on the next pip roll if you can avoid it. So I actually thought, David, you were in a lot of trouble when you ended up with all these different groups that were broken up partially from the shooting and partially from your trying to maneuver with the horsebow. But it didn't work out that way. The other thing that I questioned, Terrence, and David and I actually texted about this or chatted about a little bit offline was after the deployment, is you chose to put the artillery over here. And I understood that from the idea that you're going to have a sweeping arc of artillery fire into their approach. So that made sense. When you did it, I actually thought it was really cool. But David pointed out he would have put it here, and that was where I originally thought you were going to put it as well. Everybody thinks you don't want artillery anywhere near this rough going because it can't go in there. There's no roads. So only with a road could it go in there. But if it was sitting behind here, it would have been very hard to approach with anything except for like the bow levy. Even if the heavy foot had come in here after it, the heavy foot would be slowed by the lack of being able to group move and the penalty for being in there if they actually did fight. The bow levy were so slow and fight so poorly against foot, they would have had trouble as well. So it would have been very powerful sitting behind this because it could fire over it, and it wasn't bigger than 8.
Yeah, it was powerful on either side. I did think it was a little bit.
It would have been more protected, I guess, is what we were thinking.
And I did get extremely fortunate attacking the artillery.
Well,
Not only did I.
You expected to lose a knight going in. I mean, you did.
I thought there was a reasonable chance of losing a knight, but I at least thought there was a chance of falling back and getting delayed and getting shot at more. I ended up only getting shot at 1 time and then closing with it.
Yep.
So, or something like that. But it was fortunate for me that I was able to close with it quickly where it was. So.
Yeah, I agree with that as a better sort of artillery positioning in this. I will say that I have some maybe too much Renaissance play, and when confronted with a bunch of force and a big battery like that, I was going to put it out there just by force of habit. If I had put it on the other side, of course, the challenge would have been what to do with the other light troops who could have been, overwhelmed around it. All kidding aside, the bow levy did play a role in supporting the line. My line was not particularly threatened by his foot because he had to close the door on me to to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With the shower shooting, I could actually attack him, so that was a benefit, but it was also not very easy for me to kill them.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we found this was a similar situation in the Greek battle that you guys participated in recently, where we did the Greek battle, where the Pavis, the Persian Pavis, didn't win the battle just because they could shoot by killing, but they were able to win the battle because they broke up the Greek line so badly that when the Greek line went in, it never got the advantage of having a solid line hitting the Persians, where it could take advantage of its superior foot combat score of +4 versus the +3. It was always overlapped. So it was always getting in there at an even fight at best, and then sometimes being double overlapped. So the shooting in Triumph is very interesting because it's much more important sometimes to break up the enemy formation with it than it is necessarily to get a kill. And if you get shot at enough times, something's going to die. So that will happen eventually.
Yeah, I was very pleased with the shower shooting battle card effect in this battle. I really think it had a huge impact on the tactics in this battle. I was also pleased with the bow levy on both sides. The bow levy on both sides played a significant role in the battle as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that you got a better deal for your bow levy, David. Actually, I was kind of laughing about this because these guys were out of the game. But you had fewer points tied up on this flank than Terrence had tied up running over here and then running back.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, they accomplished their goal.
Yeah.
My mistake was that I had those archers that never really got into the battle
Yep.
on either side. I didn't deploy them well. I was a little unsure where I was going to need them, and they ended up being in a position where, given how I got broken up by the shower shooting, I wasn't going to really have the pips to get them where I needed them to go. The one on my right did actually really help anchor the bow levy there.
Yeah.
But it didn't get, neither of them got a shot the entire game.
Well, one of the things that I like to do with my archers in Triumph, and I might have considered with this army. In fact, I've done it. I do it in my Hatton battle. You notice when I set up the Hatton battle, I have archer, heavy foot, archer, heavy foot, archer, heavy foot. And for some reason, there's a tendency to try and group light troops with light troops. People just have a tendency, oh, well, these guys are the same, so they'll maneuver together and they'll fight the same way. But it's really an advantage in Triumph to spread your archers out. So if you had an archer interspersed with a heavy foot, it makes this line more dangerous to the shower shooting guys. So the elite foot cavalry would come up, and they'd be exposed to that archery fire, and they wouldn't have a clear place like, oh, I'm not worried about this line, it's all heavy foot. Well, no, if there's an archer here and an archer here, this line becomes a lot more dangerous. Yes, they can shatter the archers, but they still have to fight at a disadvantage when they hit them.
Yeah, I agree completely. If I built the armies for this battle with more archers on the later Crusader side, it definitely would have benefited my power in this game. I definitely could have had. As it was, I was very worried about my flanks with the archers, and I would have had enough to get one or two into the battle line. Would have made a big difference. Mm-hmm. But I think they do have the option for 2 more archers, possibly. So.
And it's interesting too, Terrence, your light foot survived all this time with this knight over here. So.
Well, you rolled 1 command point 2 or 3 turns in the well, no, that didn't last very long.
Let's not exaggerate. It was only 3 out of 4.
Yeah, only 3 out of 4 turns. Well, anyway, I think the shower shooting worked good. We didn't have a chance to test fortified camp because the horsebow turned around. I don't think they would have had much luck.
I think it still had an effect. I mean, it's not even the testing, really. The fact that it would be harder to attack the camp is going to have an effect on the
That had an effect. But there is one disappointing thing. We never saw the charge through battle card used, so you spent a point on that, David, and you totally wasted it.
That's okay. It was relevant. I found it interesting to really see the challenge there. I didn't anticipate that the shower shooting would mess up my ability to do the charge through, because what ended up happening was the knights were right behind the heavy foot line.
And they're all messed up.
When the heavy foot got broken up, it broke up the knights. So I was no longer able to group them. I wanted to group move them as a charge through. That would be the most effective way to do it. But there was one turn where I actually tried to realign them, and then even that failed. So.
Yeah.
Well, that actually failed because I poured the shower shooting in to make sure that they didn't get realigned, right? But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you weren't moving, the shower shooting was happening. And once I got to within a certain distance of you, I wanted to be within charge range, but being in charge range meant that I was going to get shot at, and if I couldn't get my line formed, it was going to continue to have that negative threat on me. So.
Yep. Well, guys, I hope it was an enjoyable battle, and I think any other comments about the game in general or how the rules, and then I can wrap this up and put this out as part 2 video, and it'll be a lot smaller than part 1. So.
And yeah, and I just want to highlight to those who are watching that we actually sat here and talked about these things and sort of did some voiceovers on rules and decisions. The play of the game is a little bit faster than this.
Well, that plus being able to actually see the table where you don't have to ask a lot of questions because you can do it yourself. But yeah, so I would say that this battle probably would have been 45 minutes in a normal play without all the extra fussing because of Zoom and talking over the game itself.
But I'll point out that a Zoom battle is better than no battle at all.
Yeah, I would agree.
It was definitely, there were many points in this battle where I felt that I wasn't sure how the Crusaders were going to find a way to win this battle. I felt that the Mamluks had an edge through a good portion of the battle. I thought it was a very balanced game. So.
Yeah, I think the one thing too though is that with the Knight Mamluk battle or Knight with these lighter horse elite cav armies, usually the Knights find themselves really heavily outnumbered with the mounted. And because of the shower shooting, these were effectively like a 5-point stand. So you had extra points spent for the shower shooting. It reduced the number of troops. So there would have been typically there would have been maybe one more stand of mounted or one more stand of infantry on the Mamluk side, which I think also affected the battle because as you can look, the forces look a little thin. Because of the expense of that shower shooting. So there is a price for taking that ability and the point value of what you can deploy on the army on the table.
There's a price, but I felt that it was very effective. I would not hesitate to.
Well, I think I would definitely pay for it if I had the option in an army to take it. I don't know I would pay for it for the entire mounted force because I don't think the horsebow needed it as badly, but it was definitely very useful for the elite cav.
I think in this army, just the elite cav have the option to have it.
I'll have to look at that. I thought both of them could take it, but I know elite cav can, and it's an all or nothing purchase for this army, so that all the elite cav have to take it or none, if I remember right. So.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, guys, thanks for playing, and we're gonna sign off on the video, and I'll try and get this uploaded shortly, and hopefully everybody enjoys watching it, and if we get good feedback, we'll do a few more of these. We'll do more of these, whether we film them or not will be the question.
Yeah, that's right. All right, thanks.